Welcome back to our daily journey through World War II. It's day 14 of a conflict that is already reshaping Europe. The battle for Poland is nearing its tragic conclusion, and the world is watching, largely in grim silence. The coming days will decide the fate of a nation, and on September 14, 1939, we see the final acts of defiance, the relentless siege of a capital city, and the widening of the war to the far reaches of the globe. For the past few days, the Polish counteroffensive at the Bzura River had been a fleeting beacon of hope. The Polish armies, having struck a powerful blow to the German flank, fought with a courage that stunned their enemies. But on September 14th, the full, overwhelming weight of the German war machine was brought to bear. The German High Command had been taken by surprise, but they were not to be denied. They encircled the Polish forces from all sides. The German ground forces, with a massive advantage in tanks and motorized infantry, tightened the noose. From the sky, the Luftwaffe pounded the Polish positions relentlessly. Waves of bombers, including the terrifying Stuka dive bombers, with their sirens screaming, rained down bombs on the trapped Polish soldiers. It was a brutal and merciless display of combined arms warfare, a tactic the world had never seen on this scale. The Polish forces were trapped in a cauldron, fighting to break out or hold their ground. Their ammunition was running low, their supplies were exhausted, and they were surrounded by an enemy with air superiority. Despite this, they fought on, engaging in desperate bayonet charges and heroic last stands in the forests and villages along the river. Their courage was immense, but it was not enough. The Battle of the Bzura would soon become one of the most lopsided and tragic battles of the entire war. As the Bzura battle raged, the German military had shifted its focus to the ultimate prize, the Polish capital of Warsaw. For days, the city had been preparing for a siege. On September 14th, the first German units began to arrive on the eastern side of the Bzura River, completing the city's encirclement. The Siege of Warsaw, which would become a symbol of Polish resistance, had truly begun. The German command, believing that a quick surrender was possible, began a campaign of psychological warfare. German radio stations broadcast messages demanding that the city surrender. They dropped leaflets from the air, promising lenient treatment if the Poles laid down their arms. But the Poles refused. Inside the city, military and civilian leaders were united in their decision to fight to the last man. Civilian men, women, and children worked day and night, building barricades and digging anti-tank ditches. The battle for Poland was no longer just a clash of armies. It was a battle for the soul of a nation. Far from the muddy fields of Poland, the war was expanding. On September 14th, the German pocket battleship Admiral Graf Spee was a major cause for concern. Though it had left Germany weeks before the invasion of Poland, on this day, it was lurking in the South Atlantic. A ghost ship whose mission was to sink Allied shipping. Its presence was a direct threat to the British war effort, which was completely reliant on its ability to import food and supplies. The British Royal Navy was already on high alert, with search and destroy groups of warships fanning out across the oceans to hunt down the German raiders. The war at sea, unlike the phony war on the Western Front, was already a brutal, no-holds-barred conflict. The German strategy was simple: starve Britain into submission. The British response was equally clear: hunt down and destroy every German warship that threatened the sea lanes. In the early days of the war, the Polish Air Force, despite being vastly outnumbered and outmatched by the Luftwaffe, had fought with incredible bravery. But by September 14th, the air war was practically over. Most Polish airfields had been bombed, and the remaining aircraft were either destroyed or had been relocated to makeshift runways. Many Polish pilots, realizing they could no longer fight effectively in their homeland, made the wrenching decision to fly their remaining planes to neutral Romania. This was not a surrender, it was a strategic withdrawal. These pilots, having fought valiantly for their country, would go on to form Polish squadrons in France and later in Great Britain, where they would play a heroic and vital role in the Battle of Britain. Their actions on this day were a testament to the fact that while the Polish campaign was ending, the fight for a free Poland was far from over. The events of September 14, 1939, mark a turning point. The end of the Polish campaign is now tragically inevitable, and with it comes a hard lesson about the nature of modern warfare. The lack of a major Allied offensive has sealed Poland's fate, and the world is starting to see that this conflict will not be fought according to old rules. The war at sea, far from the battlefields, is now a crucial and deadly theatre of conflict. Tomorrow we will talk about the final days of the Polish military's resistance and what happens when the first British destroyer is sunk by a German U-boat. The brutal reality of this war is just beginning to sink in. You won't want to miss it. If you found this look back at history informative, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what you found most surprising about this day in the war. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.